Candidate, question number 8. Please read the question and provide an answer for the panel.
While finishing roll call as the B Squad Patrol Sergeant at 1450 hours, you overhear an officer inform dispatch. An officer is shot, a suspect is down from police gunfire, and 2 armed suspects with assault rifles have run into a nearby grade school. How would you handle the situation? This situation is a critical incident. I'm immediately going to ensure that dispatch fleets out the 10-0 tone and advise them that I am en route to the school. I'm going to ensure that another sergeant responds to the initial scene where the officer is shot. If for some reason I were to have gone there first, if someone else takes the post at the school, I would make sure there's an inner and outer perimeter set up, the officer gets immediate medical attention, and that additional responding units assist the officer in getting to the hospital as quickly as possible. We're also going to have to ensure that the suspect gets to the hospital as quickly as possible. We're going to provide immediate medical attention to them on the scene. Once they're at the hospital, we're going to have an officer stand by with each of them to make sure that the suspect is disarmed at that point before we transport them to the hospital, and that we preserve all evidence on scene. That the officer's firearm will be taken from him at the scene and given a new one at a later time. But we have to ensure the integrity of the investigation is going to be handled by the State's Attorney's Office and the Connecticut State Police. I also would notify my lieutenant, the Crime Scene Division, Major Crimes Division, and Internal Affairs. But my main concern there is to hold the scene, make sure a crime scene log is completed, and everything like that as I would do there. Now, I'm going to respond to the school. I know it's 1450 hours, and there's a likelihood that the school is still in session at this point. I'm going to have the school dispatch contact the school and make sure that the school gets put on lockdown. This could save as many lives as possible. We're going to identify the hot zone of this. I'm going to, as soon as I arrive on scene, I'm going to notify dispatch that I've arrived there. I'm going to identify the hot zone, set up an inner outer perimeter, media staging area, an area for parents to stage also, as there's going to be a lot of parents coming out. Notify the public information officer and the ERT commander of the incident. Now, this could go one of many ways. If it's determined that it's a hostage scene or that they're barricaded, we're going to make contact with the 2 suspects that are inside the school. We're going to also contact a hostage negotiator to come out to the scene, which is going to take some time. So we're going to stall as much as possible, see what their demands are, and get a good working rapport with the 2 suspects that are inside the school. Now, if determined that it's an active shooter investigation, I'm going to have the first 3 officers that are on scene make sure they get their riot gear out, including the TAC vest that's assigned to them by the Hartford Police Department, and I will conduct periodic inspection of my officers to ensure that they're carrying all the necessary equipment that they need in case of these types of emergency, horrible situations. I'm going to send 3 to 5 officers in together with their proper equipment on, and hopefully someone has a long gun. We're also going to ask for any officer with a long gun to respond to the scene. However, in a situation like this, when lives are at risk, we're going to send in the first 3 officers that we have. I'll instruct them to enter as they've been trained in a diamond formation and to go towards the threat until it is eliminated. There's a good chance that this is going to end in a use of force by my officers, which will be investigated accordingly. I'm also going to have an evacuation team on scene. They're going to go in after the initial squad that's looking for the gunman. We might need multiple. We are going to need multiple teams to go in and look for both suspects. I also